Hey everybody, welcome back to LetsNot, and welcome back to Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Crown Tundra. Alright guys, so I thought it was time to talk about probably one of the worst things that currently still works in Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Crown Tundra, and that is clone Pokemon, or cloning Pokemon. And no, I'm not talking about my beautiful Mewtwo here behind me, or any of these guys from the Pokemon movie. No, I'm talking about something much, much worse. And that's the fact that you can still, to this day, clone Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, kind of. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to talk about a little bit here on how cloning Pokemon works in Pokemon Sword and Shield and how this is even possible in the first place. So I'm sure many of you guys have heard of maxed raids, right? So max raid dens. So a little while back, kind of right around when Pokemon Sword and Shield released, it was possible to hack your way into these max raid dens, right? And by doing this, you get $9.99 of any item, right? Like we see here. Or more importantly, you could actually hack in effectively Missing No. Yeah, that one really weird blurry guy from Pokemon Yellow. Yeah, so you could basically hack him into the game in the form of what's called a God Egg, right? And to do that, basically you'd have to set up a raid, and it kind of looks like a Pikachu, right? So I'll go ahead and play that raid here, just a couple seconds of it so you guys can see what that raid looks like and what happens when you beat that raid. But as we can see, we jump into a raid here. It's a giant Pikachu that pops up, right? You fight and basically beat this Pikachu. Once you catch this Pikachu, you don't actually get a Pikachu. You get an egg, right? A level 58 egg, right? So once we take a look at this egg, we can see, or I guess this Pikachu, in the summary we can see that it has no name. Really weird stuff, right? So this is the Missing No, right? Doesn't look like the Missing No of past, mind you, but still a Missing No nonetheless. So now what happens is this Missing No, it doesn't work like normal Pokemon should, of course, right? Like, why would it work the way a normal Pokemon's supposed to work? It doesn't even have a name. So let's talk about how cloning works and kind of the ramifications of cloning. Before we jump into this video, two things to keep in mind. A, hacked raids are gone, right? So you can no longer hack, well, they're kind of gone. So you can no longer hack a Missing No into the game, right? So this is something that Nintendo did eventually patch. So I do want to point out, that's kind of why I said before that it's kind of still possible to clone Pokemon, because you can no longer get Missing No. However, and this is the big however, is that Nintendo did not ban all players who had Missing No. So if you had already done one of these hacked raids, you had caught a Missing No, or again, we can call it a God Egg, then you still have it. And this is the biggest issue currently present today, is that any of those players can basically clone anything they want to clone. So I want to give a special shout out to Roland, who helped provide this footage for us. So Roland is one of those players who does have a Missing No, and he was kind enough to send over some footage to show us all exactly how the Missing No, basically glitch, if you will, or clone works. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a clip that he sent over, and we're going to go ahead and go through it. It goes pretty quick, so I'll go ahead and stop it at certain points if I feel the need, or basically talk a little bit about it after. Okay, so as we can see from the clip, we have a 94 Heracross, and we have nothing in this box, right? So the way that this glitch works is actually pretty simple. We take this Heracross, and we receive an egg from the nursery worker. Now, when we receive the egg, it's going to say we can either put it in our party, basically normal egg stuff, and instead we're going to switch it out with our Heracross, saying we want to switch the spot in the party with Heracross. But what actually is happening is that Heracross in our party is not going into the daycare, it's remaining in our party, and the egg is being sent into our box as another copy of Heracross. Now, I know that went a little fast, so let me break this down. So basically the way this works, and I'll show a picture from the daycare here too, is we put the Pokemon and the egg that we want to, and the God Egg into the daycare, right? So just like in this screenshot here, in this case we put a Ditto and the God Egg into the daycare. And whatever Pokemon we want to clone is simply the Pokemon that we're going to have to switch it out with, right? So in this case, we just leave that Heracross there, and it's honestly that easy. Once we get an egg with the God Egg and the Ditto, so we just go around in circles for a bit. Once an egg's ready, we just say, hey, go ahead and switch it with whatever Pokemon you want to clone, and boom, done. And that's it. That's honestly it. Like, once you have the missing node, which is the hardest part now, because again, very few players have them because of the way hacked raids were banned, and you know, more and more players getting banned every day means less and less people will have these god eggs. Again, thank you to Roland for sending this over. But as you can see from this screenshot here, guys, this can be done infinitely, right? We could just keep making these Heracrosses over and over and over again. So I actually asked Roland to send over some of these Heracrosses so we could take a look at them here in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my box. All right. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and jump over here. And if we take a look, here is the same Heracross that we saw in the video, right? So I'm going to go ahead and check the summary. And we see that this Heracross belongs to Angel, right? Which is Roland's username. It has Pokerus, Shiny, really the full works, level 94 with exactly 19,235 experience, right? Caught in a Master Ball. Again, nature is attack up, special defense down, Moxie's the ability. Here's all of the moves. Challenge Road, Calm Nature, Caught 9-1 2020. And it has a mark, which is why one of the reasons this is such a cool Heracross is that getting a marked shiny is incredibly, incredibly rare. Not only that, Roland actually has proof that he sent over that just to let me know this is actually a legitimate this is a legitimate marked shiny, which again is incredibly rare. So because I know this is real, if someone were to trade this to me, I'd be super excited because I'm like, wow, this is a marked shiny Heracross. This is super cool. And everything about it, you know, looks real. Nothing out of the ordinary. If we take a look at its IVs, right, its IVs look perfectly normal. So I would have every reason to believe, especially since he has video evidence of him catching it, that this is a completely legitimate Heracross. But now here's the problem. This is the same Heracross, right? So are you guys catching on? So basically what this means is that I can make infinite number of this hacked Heracross. And I can just trade this out all over the place, right? Who wouldn't want a marked Heracross, right? With Pokerus, with everything it could possibly ever want. Moxie, the exact same, you know, points to level up. This is the exact same Heracross, right, guys? All of this information is the same. And the problem here is that now if anybody wants to trade me, I've got the perfect Pokemon I can trade for whatever your shiny legendary is, for whatever Pokemon that you spent all your time getting, because who cares? I can make 1,000 of these Heracrosses and just collect all of your things. Luckily, guys, Roland himself is not a bad person, right? He's not out there trying to steal your Pokemon. He's really sent this out to me so I could be aware of this, so I could share this with all of you guys to let you guys know this is still a problem as of 2021 in Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? This is still an issue, right? And not only that, but it doesn't have to be his Pokemon, right? So let me go give you guys another example here. Here is a shiny Duraludon that we caught live on stream. And here, I'll link the stream just in case you guys don't believe me with in a little card up here. I'll go ahead and link the stream so you guys can see me catching this. Again, proof, this is a real Pokemon, not hacked, 100% real shiny Duraludon, right? So I traded this over to Roland, and then he could just go ahead and duplicate this for me. Same exact thing. Once you have it, you're basically good to go forever, right? So again, we see all of the information here. It's a Max Lair, Duraludon, nicknamed Digital Snake, which is just the name of one of my viewers who was in the stream. And then if we look here, here's that exact same Duraludon. Same exact points needed to level up, same exact ID number, same exact nature, moves. You guys kind of get the idea, right? Cloning is cloning. So again, definitely a huge problem because I can infinitely generate these cloned Pokemon. And if I was a bad person, I could just constantly steal whatever I'd like, right? I can duplicate event Pokemon. I can duplicate anything, right? Now, this doesn't come without risk, right? Because these Pokemon are duplicates of each other. It means they're going to have all of the exact same data. So you might think, why does that matter? Well, it really doesn't, unless it becomes a bigger problem, because this is something that if Nintendo really wanted to, would be super, super easy for them to find, right? If they decide they just want to take a full wipe and look at everybody's data and say, hey, if anybody has any duplicated data, just wipe their Pokemon, they could do that, right? So again, it's not without risk. They could definitely ban on it if they really wanted to. It's unlike Nintendo to do that, but again, if it's a smaller problem, if only a small number of people can take advantage of the system and abuse this problem, then we might not actually see them do anything. Now, one last thing, I want to point out that cloning, hacking, right, it doesn't only work with normal Pokemon, it also works with eggs. So just to prove that to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab both of these eggs here. And we're going to go ahead and move our little Flame Bloody Litwick here to the front of the party. And we're going to go ahead and hatch these just to prove to you guys that I can even clone eggs, which again is a little weird. Like, why would you want to do that? But it's more just to prove to you guys that it can happen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and spin around on my bike with my cute little Litwick here for a few seconds, and then we'll be right back when the eggs are ready to hatch. Alrighty, guys, so the first egg's ready to hatch, so let's go ahead and see what happens. Just, you know, standard egg hatching things. We got the wonderful little music here. You know, honestly, the funny thing is I can't actually remember what's going to come out of this egg. All right, cool, an Eevee, right? So we got ourselves a little Eevee here. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hatch the other egg, right? No, we go ahead and won't give it a nickname right now. So we're going to go ahead and hatch the other egg, which should happen immediately like it does. And then we're going to go ahead and compare the two Eevees. Go through the wonderful little hatching animation just one more time. I guess if you knew for sure that an egg was going to be shiny, you could choose to clone it. Like if you hatched the egg, then found out exactly what it was going to hatch into, right? Go back to your old save, hatch that egg. Then you could do it that way, I guess, and you could clone them and just hatch them at all different locations. Especially for something like a shiny Eevee, just hatch them in places depending on whatever it's going to evolve into. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a look at these two Eevees and let's compare them and prove that we indeed did hatch not two separate Eevees, but the exact same Eevee. All right. All right, so they both have 12 HP, level 1. That's not really saying a whole lot to us. All right, they're my ID number. The exact same stats. Both have run away. Exact same moves. Again, none of this is too suspicious, right? All of this information should look the same. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and check their IVs just as a way to prove that they are indeed the same Eevee, right? There you have it, right? All of the stats are decent except for the speed, which is the same, and then they have the exact same nature. Alrighty, guys, I think that about wraps this up. So again, cloned Pokemon are such a dangerous thing in Pokemon, and there's been cloning in Pokemon games basically for as long as Pokemon games have been around. I mean, heck, even the Pokemon movie has cloning, but again, not quite the same, not quite the same. But you guys get the idea, right? Cloning, definitely an issue because we're taking real Pokemon and we are creating duplicates of them, right? So this is definitely a huge problem because it gets past a lot of the hack checks because a lot of the times we're duplicating real Pokemon, right? So they should look real. Everything about them should be real. And it's going to be darn near impossible to catch them with the same hack checks that we normally do. So really the only way to protect yourself is to ask yourself again, common sense, is this trade too good to be true? If it is, just don't do the trade. And Nintendo, please, please, please fix this. I'm going to go ahead and release all of these cloned Pokemon just in case they ever do ban based off of duplicate data. Again, I don't want these things anywhere near my box. But hopefully this was helpful to you all. And hopefully if you guys want to see more content like this about the weirder stuff in Pokemon Sword and Shield, about more hacked Pokemon, and kind of the gray area when it comes to cheating in Pokemon, let me know, guys, by hitting that like button and subscribing. And yeah, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody.